Good evening, everyone. Let's talk a little bit this evening about 2 Corinthians, where it says that we are to walk by faith and not by sight. This is something that really needs to be studied in depth and practiced in our everyday life. It has a lot of effect on us. Faith, first we've got to understand that faith is complete trust or confidence in someone or something, a strong belief in God based on a spiritual apprehension rather than proof. So remember that when we have faith in something, we're believing in something that we cannot see. So therefore, if we walk by faith, we're walking by something that we cannot see, not by sight, by something that we can see. That's very powerful. That's powerful words. Has a great impact on all of our lives. Some examples are, I'm a worrier, and I'll admit that I'm a worrier. And I worry about things that I'm not sure of. Okay? Well, a good example of this is if we truly believe the words that come out of our mouth, as I've referred to in the past, if we truly believe that God works for the best for us, in the best of our interest for us, then why are we worrying about something? Well, if we're worrying, we're not believing, okay? Because as I've said in the past, your actions justify where your belief is, okay? So when we believe something, we know it's going to happen. We don't worry about it, okay? So the actions must line up with the words that are coming out of our mouth. If we believe that God is going to fix it, God's a way maker, He's going to make it work out to the best of our interest, then we don't worry, okay? Also, another example is in many relationships, whether it be a woman or a man that's in a relationship in which she has no faith within the other person, okay? When she doesn't have faith in the other person, she begins to walk by this sight that we're referring to. And this sight is the things that she sees, okay? And sometimes there's not even anything that she sees, okay? But because she's not walking by faith and she doesn't have the trust, or he doesn't have the trust in the other person, the other spouse or whatever, he then begins to walk by sight, okay? By doing such, she's looking for things, okay? And as I said, there may not even be things, but she'll start to see things, okay? She'll start to accuse him. He'll start to accuse her because of not having faith in this person. Even sometimes they will look so hard to find things that there aren't even really a problem, but they perceive it to be that there is a problem because they're not walking by faith and they're walking by sight. Okay? Don't let these things manifest in your life because it's going to cause you problems, okay? Don't create a problem. If there is no problem, don't make a problem. Don't create a problem. You know that misjudging a person can also cause us to do this. For instance, a friend or just an acquaintance, a co-worker, anyone that you know, okay, may act a certain way or respond a certain way to a situation, and because it's not the way that you would respond, you take it as if this person done it in spite and this person does not like you. And in fact, that may not even be the situation. So when that happens, you're basing your opinion on something that you saw and the way that you interpreted what you saw with your sight. So everything that this person does and says from this point on, you take it defensive because you've already created an image in your mind that this person doesn't even like you, and that's not even necessarily true or the way that it is, okay? So last but not least, which is the most common, we sit back and look at situations and we come up with what our interpretation of it is, kind of with the friends, like I was saying. Doctors. Okay, doctors are good. Woe to the doctors and lawyers. I understand that. But do understand that God does have the final say. Okay? There are many times when doctors will tell someone that they have 6 months to live. 6 years later, they're still here. Okay? You can rest assured that those people are not walking by sight, because sight tells them what they see is what the doctor tells them. And the doctor said 2 months, but it's 6 years later and they're still here. Okay? This is the importance of not walking by sight but by faith. Faith is, like I said, when we trust and we believe. We serve a forgiving God. We serve a healer. He's so many things, okay? As I've always said, God are all of these things. And it's time for us to believe He is all these things, okay? It'll take away the worry. It'll take away the doubt. It will cause your life to go so much smoother in every way. Not only financially, not only spiritually, not only in your relationships, not only in your job, but in every area, people. So let's learn to walk by faith and not by sight. It's very, very important. Think about the way that we think. We got to control our mind. The mind is the battlefield, okay? We got to get a hold of our mind. We got to get a hold of our thought process. We've got to get a hold of the way we see things. We got to see the positive in things. We got to get away from the negativity. Get away from the assuming. Get away from anything that we don't know for certain. Let's not perceive things to be a certain way when it really isn't, okay? So just remember that God is God. He will take everything and work it out the best for you. But don't intervene. Let God be God all by Himself. I say it all the time. God does not need your help, okay? He already had a plan before He put you into play, okay? So trust me, He was doing fine and being God perfectly before you came along. Guys, have a good evening.